So we turn now from the history of the Access Conference and maybe the history of the future of the Access Conference to one of its traditions that has endured, and that is the Dave Binkley Memorial Lecture, which is sponsored this year by OCLC. And I'd also like to point out that OCLC has sponsored the nutrition break that we just enjoyed. So at this time, I'd like to invite Nigel Long from OCLC up to introduce our speaker, Bashir Mohammed.
Thank you, John. The tradition of the Dave Binkley Memorial Lecture began in 2005, the last time that Access was held in Edmonton. It was initiated by Gary Gibson of Gibson Library Connections in memory of Dave Binkley, one of the leading spirits in the early days of Access, who had died earlier that year. Bruce Darkus gave the first lecture, and every year since then, the custom has been to invite a speaker from outside the library community to address the Access Conference. When Gary retired, the OCLC Library Cooperative in Canada took up the mantle and has been a proud sponsor of the Dave Binkley Memorial Lecture since 2018. This year's speaker is Bashir Mohammed, an Edmonton-based writer who focuses on the history of discrimination in Alberta and how it relates to modern legacies and problems. He's written for the CBC, Star Edmonton, the Canadian Encyclopedia, and the Globe and Mail. He's also been featured in The Guardian. Bashir's talk today will focus on Alberta's history of systemic discrimination and will primarily pull from archival material from the University of Alberta and the Provincial Archives of Alberta. Bashir's family came to Canada as refugees and was settled by the Canadian government in Edmonton. He grew up in Edmonton in the Dickensfield neighborhood. He bikes year-round, good for him, and enjoys going on the river in his free time. Bashir finds it strange to write in the third person, but wants everyone to know that he loves the archives and how exciting it is to dig down and learn more about the place he calls home. His future plans include continuing with archive work, law school, and a stint in the Naval Reserve. Please welcome Bashir Mohammed.